How you doing there, folks? Leib Schmal here, coming to you from FEMA Region number 3. And as I speak at this very moment, it is August the 14th. It is 1:39 p.m. It is the 9th of Av. For those of you who do not know what the 9th of Av is, it is a day of mourning for the nation of Israel. It is the greatest day of mourning for the Jews, because it was on the 9th of Av that Solomon's temple was destroyed by the Babylonians, and then in 70 AD, Herod's temple was destroyed by the Romans. That's right, the 9th of Av. Now, needless to say, my friends, whether this video is uploaded by the time the 9th of Av is still going on, that is in the hands of Elohim. But as I speak now, it is the 9th of Av. Now, I gotta tell you something, my friends. Here we go again. Here's Laban once again saying the same thing over and over again. And what would that be? Elohim has thrown me a curve. That's right. I was in the midst of working on a totally other video. That's right, my friends. You've heard it all before. Let me show you an email that I just sent to a dear sister in Tennessee. You know who you are. Take a look at this. You can see the date there that I sent it. It was August 13th, 2:45 p.m. I blocked out the name of the dear sister, as I have not acquired permission to use her name. But as I have said, you know who you are. If you do not know who you are, find a mirror. If you still don't know who you are, well, I suppose that's a whole other video. But I digress. Well, over the past couple of weeks, I've been helping my little Polish friend Shaul look after his dear mother, who was under the weather. So Elohim put what he wanted me to do with regard to a video on hold for a bit. Oh, by the way, Shaul's mom is doing fantastic. She's actually in the other room eating a tomato sandwich. Yeah, Shirley made her a tomato sandwich with some cucumbers. So once again, we thank you all for the prayers. If you have not yet seen the short thank you video we posted just the other day, take a look at that. There's a nice hymn and a little surprise at the end. So like I said, Elohim put me on hold a bit. But when Shaul's mom began to feel better, it was still up in the air what Elohim wanted me to do with regard to a video. Hence, this email to the dear sister in Tennessee. Read what it says there. Abba has me on the ropes with regard to what I'm working on. My gut is what tells me to get moving on something, and it is just not coming. Abba has something else up his almighty sleeve, or there is something that he has not shown me yet. And that, my friends, was absolutely the case. It was not until this morning, which, as I said, is the 14th of August, a.k.a. the 9th of Av, that Elohim got me on with it. However, as I was in the midst, one of the biggest smack laps I've ever experienced happened. It hit me not like a ton of bricks, but like a ton of hewn stone. Those who have ears will hear. What was it, Laban? What was this colossal smack wap that hit you like a ton of hewn stone? You know what it was? It was the date, August 14th. I thought, oh my goodness, it's August 14th. But the smack wap was not due to the fact that August 14th also happened to be the 9th of Av. Although, how Elohim-like to produce this smack wap on such an important and prophetic date. So, what other reason, Laban, could the fact that it's August affect you so? Well, I'm going to tell you, and you will understand the reason for this prophecy alert. Now, back on the 5th day of May of this year, the year 2016, I posted this video. For this prophecy alert, I'm going to replay a portion of that video, and you will understand completely why the fact that it is now the month of August hit me like a ton of hewn stone. Many of you saw this video, But you must see this portion again to fully understand now just what it was I was getting at. And you will also know by the end of this video to heed these words of the Apostle John, Yohanan. Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits whether they be of Elohim, because many false prophets have gone out into the world. And now here is the portion of the video I posted on 5 May 2016. I made this promise to everyone that watches this channel and who has subscribed unto it. Pardon me, phlegm. Be assured that unlike many, and you know who you are, and so does Elohim, this channel will never take part in manufacturing signs, sensationalizing news so that it takes on the appearance of a sign, or do the disgusting deed of putting lying words and or photos in the titles and or thumbnails of YouTube videos in order to get people to hit on my channel. You'll never see me doing that. And you know what else you'll never see me doing with titles of videos? Doing something like this. Putting up a headline followed by a question mark to cover your bases. Come on now. People see right through this. This is wrong. I've watched this man for years, and you know what? Now I'm done. I'm done. So all of the fans out there of this guy, they can cut me off right now, because I'm done with him. And I'm not talking about Jorge. Now, let me tell you something, my brothers and sisters. I've been praying about 3 weeks, over 3 weeks, about putting this up here or not, whether I should do it or not. And I asked the Father, and he said, do it. He spoke it directly to my spirit, for those of you who think that we're out here talking, that we're hearing audible voices, okay? Calm down. And by the way, if he so chooses to speak to any of us in an audible voice, he can. Now listen to me, all of you who listen to these people, me included, listen to this. When you call yourself a minister of the gospel of Yeshua HaMashiach, when you are a watchman for his children, for his sheep, you do not use deceptive tactics. You research what you put up there. You vet it. You don't put something up there just to get somebody to click on your, oh man, that makes my blood boil. And so I'm going at it. And oh yeah, I am serious. And I'll promise you another one, my friends. If it comes out that I'm incorrect about what I'm saying, I'm going to come on here and I'm going to tell you that I was wrong. Every time that I have made an error, even if it was a small one, I came on and I said, this is what I did and it was wrong and I want to correct it. These men, if they don't do that, they're going to be held accountable. And it will show, because I'll tell you, you don't have to be the omniscient Elohim to go on and check out if they've retracted anything or did follow-up videos on it. And I'm going to show you some of this. Hold on. All right, now let me tell you what this is all about. The reason I got this up here is because it took me maybe 10 minutes to discover that this didn't even have to be put up there. I researched this in 10 minutes and found out that that's false, that it's not going to happen. I don't care if he's got a question mark there or not. And the way I found out is by using the source that he uses for this, his justification for putting this up there. It was this source right here, the Alex Jones channel. Alex Jones, the man who referred to the pre-time of Jacob's trouble catching away of the bride of Yeshua as twisted garbage. This man, Alex Jones, referred to the blessed hope of us all as twisted garbage. That is where Mr. B or Pastor B or whoever he is got his information back last October. You can see it right there, October the 11th, I believe it says, of 2015. Let's hear his Vatican insider tell us how the Pope will resign in 2016 upon his Argentina visit.
You're saying you have been told from high level in the Vatican that the Pope will resign next year. This is bombshell. You've really stuck your neck out here. Flesh that out more, exactly what you were told.
I was said that during his visit that he will do next year in South America, which will include, I think, Chile, Argentina, and Peru, he will basically, this will happen approximately, I think, in July of next year, but I mean, just when he goes to Argentina, which as we know, he comes from there, he will announce that he will resign.
And so the headline on this video, this should be a big article tomorrow, and I guess you're going to probably write one, Leo. We'll post it at Infowars.com. We'll publish it. The Pope will resign in 2016. That's the headline?
Well, if it goes to Argentina, because the problem is that they're trying to fix this trip in Argentina, is almost certain, I mean, it's even on the Wikipedia already about his pastoral trips for next year. If that is confirmed, we can say for sure that he will announce his resignation when he visits his hometown in Argentina.
Wow.
Wow is right, Alex. Look what it says there. The Pope will resign. Will resign. When you call yourself a watchman for Elohim, when you call yourself a follower of Yeshua, and you put will, you better mean it. You don't listen to Father Guido over here after you ask him, oh, so that's the headline, right? The Pope will resign in 2016, and he's over there, well, you know, if he does this, oh, they're trying to, but it's confirmed on the wiki. Well, let me tell you something, Alex, I went to the wiki, and I am going to correct myself. What it took me less than 3 minutes to confirm. You with your big production and your big store selling prepper food and survival gear. You couldn't take 2 minutes to go to the wiki that he said confirms this trip. You didn't have time to go and confirm that, and yet you're ready to publish this. Oh, it will happen. It will happen without confirmation. Shame on you. Shame on you. Now, I wouldn't have none of this to say if you did not claim to be a watchman for Yeshua. But you do. And so I'm calling you out on this. And the other one over there on the left also for using you as a source. Now I can hear some of you out there saying, oh, Laden, why are you picking on these men of Elohim? Well, let me tell you something. After you see what I show you, you'll have more respect for the New York Times. Like I said, I would have nothing to say if these men did not claim to be watchmen on the wall, as it says in the scriptures. They claim to be that. And so I'm holding them to it, and I'm going to let you know when they do not follow what the scriptures say to do with regards to being watchmen on the wall. All right, well, like what the Nosferatu over there said, it's almost certain, but it's confirmed on the Wiki page that he's going to Argentina in 2016. Now, I'm going to show you the Wiki, but before I do, I'm going to show you what I saw on the sea. The website of the Holy See, or whatever you want to call this. Man, oh man, look at that. Is he winking? He's winking. They don't have any shame, do they? None of them. We're going to take a look at what old Jorge Francisco's calendar's got on it. Let's take a look. All right, here's the calendar 2016. Let's go to May. Let's see if he's going to Argentina. Don't cry for me. Look at here. Oh, boy. Nothing. Nothing. That's May. That's May right there. Okay? You see it? May 2016. Let's go back. All right. Travels. You see travels? Let's take a look at travels. Travels. 2016 Apostolic Journeys outside Italy. All right. Looks like you just got back from the Greek Isles. And then there's the one he did in Mexico in February. Where travels outside, travels 2016 Apostolic. There's the rest of them. Where's Argentina at, Mr. Alex Jones, huh? Where is it? All right. Now let's go to the wiki. There's the page that guy said he looked at. List of pastoral visits of Pope Francis outside Italy. All right. Look, here we go. We're going to go down a little bit. Let's see what this has got here. Let's see what we got. 2016. 2016. Armenia. Poland. Oh, remember he said July 2016, July? Well, Poland is a far cry from Argentina, Ooh. All right, Georgia and Azerbaijan, Sweden. Oh, I'm sure I'll have a good time there. Malta, Pakistan. Let's see what they got for 2017. That's a little curious. Let's see. Oh my goodness. What does that say for 2017? Argentina. All they all they had to do was come down to here where it says 2017 and they find Argentina, Chile, and Uruguay. Now the Holy See page, they got nothing. Nothing for 2016 after the Greek trip. Now let's see what this says. Let's see if this confirms what the Holy See page had. Yeah, there we go. Look. See? There's the Mexico trip, February. There's the Greece trip that just happened. Now, you gonna tell me that neither one of these organizations here had the resources to find out what it took me 3 minutes to find out? Yeah, right. Now, let me tell you this again, my friends. You wouldn't be hearing about any of this right now if this had been the New York Times or the National Enquirer or Mrs. Middleschmidt's gossiping with old lady Uppercut. But since these men here claim to be watchmen on the wall, claiming to be followers of Yeshua HaMashiach, and one of them over there who doesn't report this until 6 months after they do, the one on the left, he claims to be a minister of the gospel. No. If they're going to do that, and they're going to put this kind of information up here without confirming it, without having assurance, when you put up there that the Pope is going to resign in 2016, when all you gotta do is go to the page that you cite as your source to see that he does not go to Argentina until 2017, Elohim is not mocked, and neither are his children, and neither are the watchfolk that watch for his children. You will be held accountable for this. You want to cut me off? Go ahead. But I'm going to be able to stand in front of my Elohim and say, I defended your honor, my Elohim. Now, of course, there may be those of you who would say, Laban, perhaps when old Max Schreck over there, maybe when he reported it, maybe the Wiki page did say that he was going in 2016. Maybe it was modified since then. Well, they had plenty of time to go and check it back out and do a follow-up. This guy, this dude here with the X I put on his head, he was on Alex Jones 3 weeks ago, and not a word about the Wiki page saying that it now says 2017 is when this Argentine trip is scheduled. Nothing. And this one over here, this so-called pastor, I will never call this man a pastor again. This man who recently, very recently, broke the trust of a dear brother of mine in Yeshua by making public on his broadcast a private correspondence. This brother asked for this to be private, and this, whatever he is, he made it public on his broadcast, so I will call him a whatever this man is. He has posted 2 videos on this false prophet Jorge Bergoglio since April the 3rd, and no update. No changing of what he's got up here. Why? Because he don't want to remove his question mark. And now it is known. Anyone can go to that Wikipedia page and see that Argentine trip is not scheduled until 2017. And as you've seen on Jorge's page, there is nothing even scheduled for 2016 for the month of May. So keep your question mark up there. And while you are at it, keep using sources that refer to the rapture of the bride of Yeshua as twisted garbage. Do it. Elohim is taking it all down. He's making a lot of videos, fellas. And a day is coming when he can sit you down and let you watch all the ones that you led people on to believe. And there are others. I've been watching their titles for years that they put in their thumbnails, the pictures they put. There you go. Did you hear that? That was thunder. Perfect timing, Elohim. Thank you, my Elohim. And I'm telling you this right now, like I said, I've been watching the titles that they put up there, and there is no call for it. You give these people the benefit of the doubt because they do say that they believe in Yeshua. But after you see the wording that they put and some of the pictures that they use it for their thumbnails, and then you watch the videos and it's like, what in the world? It's like nothing like what they're saying. They're just trying to draw you in. And that is wrong. That is the tactic of the world, not a tactic of someone that says they are a watchman for the children of Elohim. So there you have it, my brothers and my sisters. Did this Pope resign this past May, Mr. Begley? Did he resign in July of this year whilst visiting his hometown in Argentina, Alex? No, he took no trip to Argentina this year, Alex. So there is Jorge. He's right where he's supposed to be. Right there in the window of the Vatican. Look at the date. August the 14th, 2016, the 9th of Av. There he is in the window, deceiving that deluded mass of people down there on the ground. So for anyone out there who may have thought that I was just out to attack these so-called followers of Yeshua, where is the credibility and the reliability now of these watchmen with regard to the signs of the times?